Hello everybody, and welcome back to Steven's Fight Show. Alright, so Beterbiev and Yarde had one of the best scraps so far in 2023, and the year just only started. It was an amazing fight between two warriors, and hats off to both of them for putting on a great show. I remember one of the very first videos I made on this channel discussing this potential matchup, where I said this would be a great fight if it was to happen, and I'm glad to say I wasn't disappointed. And ultimately, fights like this will only serve great things to boxing because it's what the sport needs. In today's generation, it's all about social media and business when it comes to boxing. And because of that, it's not a secret that we don't see fights that we want to be made. We also don't see great fights where two fighters are putting it on each other where it's entertaining to watch. It's one of the reasons why crossover boxing is making a lot of noise, because there was a missing element in the traditional boxing world, which was entertainment. However, in this fight, you got a bit of everything: skill, IQ, experience, toughness, and blood. I had previously said that I believe these two have similar styles. They like to be aggressive, and they both got power behind their punches. They're both at their best when they fight inside the pocket. However, in this fight, one fighter was good at it, and the other person was great. So if you didn't get a chance to catch the fight or see the results, Artur Beterbiev won the fight by TKO in the 8th round, and it was a bit different than I thought. If you were wondering what my prediction was for this fight, I thought Beterbiev was going to win in the 9th round, but I thought the fight was going to go in a different way. I thought Beterbiev was going to take his time and potentially give up rounds early on, and when the fight gets deep, that's where Beterbiev will live and start to pressure and really break Yarde down. However, if I'm being honest, I gave Yarde a good chance to win this fight, but I didn't expect him to be ahead on the scorecards like that by 2 judges through 7 rounds. Prior to the fight, I didn't think Yarde had what it took to win by decision. I thought he lacked the experience and the IQ and the pace to really go 12 rounds against Beterbiev. And with the way that the fight was playing out, it looked like Yarde could win a decision against Beterbiev. Obviously, we were heading into the championship rounds prior to the stoppage, which is where the fight can completely change, but Yarde had an excellent performance, especially for being the challenger. He had a couple losses in the past where you would look at them and say, oh, he needs to do this, he needs to improve in this area, or he needs to do better overall to become champ. But in this fight, he could walk away knowing that he performed the best throughout his entire career despite him coming up short. Beterbiev had a good performance as well despite him getting outboxed by Yarde in certain parts of that fight, but the experience and the IQ of Beterbiev were really slept on in my opinion. Part of the reason why none of that was recognized is because of the commentators. I ain't gonna lie, when I was watching this fight live, the only thing I was thinking was,
the commentators were glazing heavy on Yarde.
There were so many moments where Beterbiev was landing some great shots, but the commentators were just swerving right back to Yarde. There was little credit given to Beterbiev by the commentators in this fight. But anyways, back to the topic. Beterbiev showed that he was comfortable and calm being where he was in the fight despite him being down on the scorecards. Whereas Yarde looked a bit excited that he had the amount of success that he had throughout the entire fight. So to further explain what I'm talking about, let's go through the fight. In rounds 1 to 3, Yarde had a great start to the fight. Beterbiev was putting Yarde on the back foot, and he did better than I expected. I previously said that I don't believe Yarde can box on the back foot, but he did very well against Beterbiev. Beterbiev was coming forward throwing double jabs, trying to establish the distance and cut off the ring because that's what he does best. But Yarde brilliantly reads this early on and counters his offense with the lead hook. And it's the same counter in the Sergey Kovalev fight. If you notice in that fight, Yarde was continuously getting hit with that jab, and he tried to take it away with the same check hook. But the reason why it didn't work as well against Sergey Kovalev as opposed to Beterbiev is because Beterbiev would fall into his shots. When he would throw a double jab, he would reach and fall into Yarde's range, which puts him in a perfect position for Yarde to land the check hook. It was almost like Beterbiev was lunging into Yarde's range. Yarde also knows that the right hand is going to be the punch that comes behind the jab, so he found the timing to land the check hook to roll under the right hand. On top of that, he was picking his shots by shooting the uppercut. The uppercut and the lead hook were the two money shots, and the jab was successfully keeping Beterbiev at his range. Even though Yarde had a lot of success in these early rounds, Beterbiev performed very well in these rounds as well. If you pay close attention, you can see what he's doing. You can see that he's landing clean with the jabs and body shots, cutting off the ring very beautifully, and using feints to open up power shots. And this was the start of Beterbiev slowly building his blocks to unlock the finish. And he's probably the best at doing this, as he's the best finisher in the sport for a reason. It's just I believe the process was a little bit different than he thought. So in rounds 4 to 6, this is where things start to heat up. So Beterbiev comes out on smoke as he did in every round. He was landing jabs continuously, and again, the commentators never gave him credit for it. As much as the jab was landing for Yarde, it was landing probably more for Beterbiev. He was attacking the body very well to set up left hooks and overhands. The shot selection by Beterbiev was phenomenal. However, the real damage in this fight is when he had Yarde up against the ropes, but specifically in the corner. When Beterbiev has you where he wants, he's going to tee off on you, and there's nothing you can do about it at all. That's how dangerous this man is. And the combinations that he was throwing were ruthless. The way he attacks the body and follows up with an uppercut on the same side is nasty. A perfect combination to open up the guard. He's usually never off balance, and he's defensively aware of the punches coming back at him. But in these rounds, this is also where Yarde had his best work. This is also where credit should be given because he didn't allow himself to keep getting bullied by Beterbiev. He was walking Beterbiev down in the 5th round, landing jabs and power punches. The left hook still had success, but he landed some big right hands over the top. I think the biggest right hand he landed was when he gave Beterbiev a taste of his own medicine when he feinted low and came up over the top. The uppercuts were also devastating, and he managed to force Beterbiev to reset many times in these rounds. But at the same time, this is where you see the difference between a unified champion and a strong contender. If you notice, when Beterbiev lands a big shot that wobbles Yarde, and when he tees off on him, Yarde doesn't really move. Instead, he opts to stay in the corner where Beterbiev is lighting him up. When Yarde lands a big shot on Beterbiev, he doesn't look to engage with Yarde, and instead, he's moving side to side on his toes like how he did against Joe Smith Jr. And that was the difference. The footwork and the angles by Beterbiev ultimately helped him eliminate any chances for Yarde to land big shots on him against the ropes. This is what I mean when the experience and the IQ comes into play. Yarde has had to fight at this pace since the bell rang. Although he had a lot of success in this fight, this is something that is foreign to him, because ultimately he's not the one that's in control. Beterbiev had been fighting like this for years. He knows he can fight at this pace because he's done this numerous times against great fighters. The question is, how long can Yarde continue to do this? We saw what happened when Kovalev pushed the pace on him and he got stopped. How long can Yarde be great for? That's the question in this fight. But however, he still fought back so many times against Beterbiev. There was not a moment in this fight where he chose to quit. In round 7, he was trying to push Beterbiev back with counter shots and body shots, and he was landing some big shots. He was going toe to toe with the best finisher in the sport, and he was getting the better of most of the exchanges. But the issue was, even though he was winning the fight momentarily, it didn't serve him well in the long run. He was so active in the past few rounds that I don't believe he had enough to continue his success in the later rounds. And this is also what I mean when I say he got too excited. In round 8, Yarde was trying to pick his shots, but Beterbiev was the one that was landing clean shots, and because Yarde was looking for the uppercut, Beterbiev read it, and as soon as he saw the same look again, he beats Yarde to the punch with the right hand, followed by an overhand that drops Yarde. After that, Yarde's coach Tunde decides to throw in the towel, and Beterbiev wins by stoppage. Watching it live, I don't think it was 100% the right call to throw in the towel, because it looked like Yarde was still there. However, his corner knows him the best, and they're only trying to look out for him. And also, it was only going to get worse for Yarde. Like, let's be honest, there's a good chance that he wasn't going to make it out of that round. So overall, I don't completely agree, but I absolutely understand the decision. It looks like Yarde is not protesting it like Wilder, so it's all blessed, innit? Good performance by Yarde and Beterbiev as well. As I said, Yarde shouldn't be disappointed in himself. He made the whole UK proud, and he showed that he belongs with all the great light heavyweights in the game right now. Alright, so now that we've gotten this fight over with, we need this undisputed fight between Beterbiev and Bivol. I don't know how this is possible, but they need to somehow forestall these mandatories because Beterbiev is pushing 40. He doesn't have a lot of time. Father Time is knocking on his door right now, coming to take him. So Callum Smith or any other mandatory out there just needs to back off because we ain't trying to see none of that. We want to see the best versus the best. And just to briefly summarize this matchup, this fight has everything and it's the best matchup in boxing right now that can actually be made. The winner of this fight could be the pound for pound best fighter in the world, so let's run this fight now before it's too late. Both guys clearly want to fight each other, and it's going to be one of the best fights in boxing, so there's no reason why it shouldn't be made. So hopefully we see it, man. And that is it, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to what I have to say, and let me know, were you impressed with Anthony Yarde's performance against Beterbiev? What do you think is next for Artur Beterbiev? Drop a comment and let me know in the comment section down below. Now, if you guys enjoy content that is related to combat sports, please drop a like on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys go down to the bottom of the description of this video to follow me on my Twitter. I post a lot of tweets relating to combat sports, so if you're interested in that, please follow me to stay connected with everything I got going on. And other than that, it's been Steven, signing out. Peace!